So you're thinking about living in Westerville, Ohio? Well, I want to give you 10 pros and 10 cons as to why you may or may not want to make that decision for you and your family. So let's go ahead and get started. So if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, click the bell notification, so you'll be one of the first people to get information about what it's really like living in Central Ohio. Maybe you're interested in moving to Columbus, Ohio, into the downtown area, or to one of the suburbs of Columbus, Ohio, or maybe even a little bit farther out in the general Central Ohio region. This channel is going to be an opportunity for you to get updates on the current market and what is going on in these different areas of Central Ohio. My name is Daniel Case with Living in Central Ohio, and I'm really glad that you took the time to watch this video. It's my hope that I could be a guide for you. You've done the hard work to get yourself ready to buy a home for you and your family. Let me help you be the hero for your family by not making a bad decision and moving into an area of Central Ohio that you really don't want to live in. I want to be here to help you and guide you with resources to help you make a smart and smooth move to Columbus, Ohio, and the Central Ohio area. So whether you're looking to move in 1 month or 1 year, let me be the one call that you make to help you make a smooth move to this area. You can send me a text message, you can comment on a video, you can even schedule a 30-minute Zoom call so I can get to know you better, see what it is that you really value and what it is that you're really looking for in your next home, and love to be a resource for you as you think about living in Central Ohio. So right now we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of one of the best suburbs in Central Ohio, Westerville, Ohio. So let's go ahead and dive into those. All right, so Westerville, Ohio. It's a great suburb. It's a great place to live in Central Ohio. And let's start off first with 10 pros, 10 great things about Westerville, Ohio that I think you should know if you're considering making a move to Westerville, Ohio. So first thing about this area is that it's always been known for having excellent schools. The academic performance at Westerville schools is top notch. It always rates top notch in the Columbus, Ohio and the Central Ohio area. They also have very competitive athletic teams. They have a lot of extracurricular activities for students that are a part of Westerville schools. They try to do a really good job with the teacher to student ratio as well, even though it's an area that's still continuing to see a lot of growth. And so they continue to expand and upgrade their school systems to continue to keep them top notch. Also, one of the things I love about Westerville schools is every time you see a picture of their homecoming court, it's not just the cheerleaders and the football players that are in that, but there's a wide variety of students that make it into those homecoming courts, even some students that are a part of the school system that have different types of disabilities, whether it be mental or physical. They're very inclusive in Westerville schools, which is a great thing to see as young people are learning the importance of that in our community. Here is pro number 2. It's just a safe community. It always has been. It's just many areas of Westerville are very nice areas, very safe areas that you would feel comfortable walking, running in, being outside in, having your kids play in the backyard. It's a very safe community. There's not a lot of issues with crime in Westerville. The police department there does a really good job as well. It's just a very safe community, and that's always been something about Westerville that's always made it a great place to live. So pro number 2 is it's just simply a safe community that you would feel comfortable with having your family live in. All right, here's pro number 3, proximity to Columbus. Super easy to commute to about anywhere in the city from Westerville. You're really close to the 270 loop that can get you all the way around the city of Columbus, all around Central Ohio. You got easy access to 161 that can also help you get out east if you're heading out this direction, out towards maybe New Albany or Gahanna, where some of the new tech jobs are with Google and Meta that are headed out that way. So that's a great opportunity to jump right on 161 to make it there. If you work at some of the hospitals downtown, you can easily just get onto 315 or get downtown to a lot of the hospitals as well. I've got a map video as well that you can check out that'll show you some of the proximity to where Westerville is, as it's on the north end of Columbus, but it makes it really easy to get to a lot of hot spots around the city as well. So be sure to check out that map video so you can kind of see a little bit better of where it is. Easy access to the airport as well, makes it really easy to get from place to place around Columbus. So if you're thinking about Westerville, that's a great pro, is its proximity to the Columbus metro area and then just general areas around Columbus as well. All right, pro number 4, parks and recreation. It has a nickname in Westerville of being the city in a park. There is a lot of great parks around Westerville. Sharon Woods Park is one. Ennis Woods Metro Gardens, which has a lot of beautiful flowers on display every spring through the summer. You also have Hoover Reservoir, which just is a great place that you can go out and do kayaking on the water, you can do sailing on the water, you can do fishing out there. It's just a great opportunity to get out close to the water. There's also a ton of hiking trails and running trails that you can also participate in as well. There's over 50 miles of bike path throughout Westerville. So you could literally go and run an ultra marathon and never leave the bike paths in Westerville. It's a really awesome spot to be. Just a little bit north of Westerville is another body of water, Alum Creek, which is another great lake that you can do more boating and fishing on as well. Super close to where you are in Westerville. Also a lot of camping opportunities up that way. So if you're a person that loves to be outdoors, love to do camping, loves to do some outdoor hiking, Alum Creek's another great option that is also very close to Westerville. Also, these parks that you can go to have a lot of great activities for kids. There's a lot of different ways that they can learn and engage with some of the systems at the park and some of the workers at the park. So it's just a really unique and cool opportunity with the metro parks in the Westerville area. If you love being outside and you love taking part in those kind of things, it's definitely a pro of living in Westerville, Ohio, are the parks and recreation. All right, pro number 5, charming downtown area. I'll tell you, downtown Westerville, which is actually known as Uptown Westerville, is just a really, really cool place. There's just a lot of cool little coffee shops, restaurants through there, bookshops, just a lot of just fun, even furniture shops that you can walk up and down there. Some great ice cream available as well. Just a really beautiful and unique place. It's situated really close to Otterbein University. Also, another cool thing about this area is the university feel and the university town aspect you have with Otterbein being right there. But just a really neat, unique and beautiful downtown, very historic, very charming. A lot of cool things about the history of Westerville, and just a really unique Uptown Westerville that's a little charming area that you can easily go through to grab lunch, to grab coffee. If you need to work remotely, there's some really cool places to drop in there and do that as well. A really neat part about Westerville is being close to this uptown, downtown charming area that they have in Westerville. All right, here's pro number 6. It's a very family-friendly environment. There is a lot of opportunities for family activities throughout Westerville, whether it be recreational sports. There's also a recreational center in Westerville. They have their own community center. It's a great facility as well. There's just a lot of things going on for families, whether it be events around Easter time or events over in the summer. Just a lot going on and a lot of fun happening. They also have the Highland Aquatic Center, the Westerville Pool. That's just a really nice facility with water slides and a lazy river. Just a really cool place to hang out on a hot summer day. Great place to take the family. A lot of just cool ways for your family to get involved and do things together because it's a very family-friendly environment in Westerville. And if you're a person with a family, it's a place that you're gonna really love and enjoy being a part of some of the things going on for your family. Number 7, historical and cultural appeal. So Westerville was once known as the dry capital of the world, as it was the birthplace of Prohibition, where alcohol consumption was, the sale of alcohol was illegal here in the United States for quite some time. Westerville has a lot of history around that time and that era, and there's some things that you can actually go and visit and see. because of the historical nature of Westerville and the history it has back to the times of Prohibition. But there's also just some really cool cultural things that happen in Westerville because of Otterbein. It's a liberal arts university, so there's a lot of things that come into Otterbein that you can go and be a part of and see, just to get a lot of cultural diversity in your life and be able to see some things that maybe are outside of the realm that you normally would take in. There's also a park in Westerville that has a piece from the one of the Twin Towers from 9/11. It's a piece of the building that's a bent piece of metal, and it's very sobering when you go and see it as you think about what those people went through, and as you remember the people that lost their life during September 11, and as you remember the families of those who lost loved ones during that. It's a really unique thing to be able to go and to be able to show your kids, and to even have an opportunity with some of the things around there to be reminded of what took place on that fateful day. And so Westerville just provides a lot of opportunities for cultural and historical appeal based upon the age and the things that have happened in the history of Westerville, and then also some things that come in because of Otterbein and some of the other things that are available. So that is pro number 7. Let's get on to number 8. So number 8 goes along with number 2 when we talked about it being a safe community. Number 8 is that it has low crime rates. Again, another opportunity to have some peace of mind, that it isn't an area that is subject to a lot of crime, not a lot of theft, robbery, assaults, things like that. It's an opportunity to not only live in a safe community, but have peace of mind because it's an area that has a very low crime rate as well. On to number 9, the job opportunities. There are a ton of job opportunities within Westerville, as Chase Bank has a large corporate center in Westerville. There's also some other large companies that have bases very close to the Westerville area that you can easily find a lot of employment. We have a lot of tech jobs coming into Central Ohio, into Columbus, Ohio. So there's a lot of opportunities if you're moving here for a tech job to have many potential opportunities, even more than maybe the one that you're coming here with. So lots of job opportunities, especially on the north side of Columbus. A lot of large corporations and organizations, a lot of hospitals if you're in the medical field, a lot of opportunities with teaching in the school systems and in private schools up in this area as well. So just a lot of great job opportunities for people that live in the Westerville area. So if that's something that you're concerned about, know that that is a pro, that it's a great area for you to come and to be able to find employment. All right, and number 10, the final pro for living in Westerville, Ohio, is that there's diverse housing options. There's places that you can rent, apartments that you can rent, there's houses that you can rent. There's a lot of single family housing. There's a lot of single family that are shared wall condos as well. There's a lot of new construction that's actually multi-unit buildings that are being built that are condos that you can get into without having to have a lot of yard maintenance and things like that because of the condo that's going to take care of that with the association. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to buy or rent a home in Westerville, Ohio. There's also a lot of new builds that are happening on the outside of the Hoover Reservoir. So kind of on the back side of the reservoir, there's a lot of new developments that are popping up there. So if you're looking to buy a new home, there's opportunities for that. If you're looking to build something from scratch, you can do that as well. But then also as you get closer to that Uptown Westerville, there's some very historic homes that have a lot of history to them, a lot of charm to them. So if you're into older historic homes that have been well maintained and updated, that's an opportunity as well. And then as you get through the suburbs, again, a lot of what's going on in Westerville are homes that are very close to a lot of these amenities like we talked to, like the community pool and the community rec center and Hoover Reservoir, Inniswood Metro Gardens. There's a lot of homes that are really close to these areas that you can literally walk or ride your bike to as well, which is just a really cool opportunity. Depending on how walkable you want your neighborhood to be or amenities that you want really close, you can have that, or you could even have something newer that's a little bit farther out and away from some of that. So there's opportunities, again, whether to rent, whether to buy, whether to build. You can do all those things in Westerville, Ohio, and there's plenty of opportunities if that's what you're looking for, and moving to an area that gives you multiple opportunities to do just that. So that is your list of 10 pros of why you would want to move to Westerville, Ohio. So now let's go ahead and look at 10 cons of some things that I think you just should know before you move into this area that I think are just helpful and just important. So let's get to those now. All right, let's get to a list of cons of maybe why you wouldn't want to live in Westerville, Ohio. And here is number one. It's the affordability of some of the houses in Westerville. It is an area of town. It's one of the suburbs of Columbus, Ohio, that is a little bit more expensive. So the house that you buy in Westerville, square footage wise, and what you pay price per square foot is going to be more than some of the other Columbus suburbs that are around, simply because of what Westerville has to offer and the niceness of the communities and the schools. It is price point a little bit higher than some of the other communities in Columbus, Ohio and the central Ohio area. So if price is a big factor for you, if you're looking to get maximum square footage for the money, Westerville may not be the right place, because you're going to pay a little bit higher because of some of the things that come along with being a part of living in a nice community like Westerville. But it's something to consider as you look at some of the other suburbs and you see what you get for the price, and then you look at a home in Westerville, you may not think you're getting as much, but you have to be reminded of all the things that come with living in a suburb like Westerville that are so nice and so great. But that is a con. You know, the price per square foot that you're going to get in Westerville is going to be more expensive than what you would pay in some of the other Columbus, Ohio suburbs. So that is con number one. All right, here is con number two, traffic congestion. That north side of 270, around 71 north, even around State Route 3 that comes right up into Westerville. At different times of day of rush hour, it can get very congested. So if you have to commute for work, it may be something that you use some different apps to try to figure out how long it's going to take you from this area to get to your office. And you can even use some apps like Waze that will actually kind of forecast it for you. If you put in what time of day that you need to leave, you can look and see how long it would take you during that time of day to get from maybe an area or a house that you're looking at to your workplace, because traffic can be an issue. There's a lot of congestion. The infrastructure is continually being rebuilt, but so many people have moved to the area in a short amount of time. It's caused a lot of congestion. So it's just something to know. If you're having to get to an office, maybe downtown Columbus or out to the west or east of Westerville, you got to go around 270 or 670 or down 71 or 315. You just need to know there's going to be some times in the day where there's going to be some traffic congestion that you're going to have to deal with. So that is definitely a con. All right, number three, weather. And look, here's the thing with Central Ohio weather. It just is what it is, right? We get four seasons. Spring and fall are gorgeous. You know, spring is beautiful. The weather temperature is beautiful. Fall is beautiful. You have amazing color of leaves on trees. Summer's hot. It's swampy. It's sweaty. There's some days where the humidity is just not very fun. But thankfully, we have a lot of water attractions around us that you can get out of the heat. Thankfully, all these homes you're going to be looking at in Westerville come with central air, so you're going to have air conditioning. That's going to be something that you're going to be able to enjoy and use in the hot summer months. And then winter is strange. I've lived here for over 20 years. I feel like we get less snow now than we once did in this area, but we still get some snow from time to time. We'll have some storms come through that bring some ice. But then there's some times where in January it's 50 degrees. It's just a weird thing. You just never know what you're going to get weather-wise. It changes pretty rapidly. We do have some different times in the year. We have some thunderstorms that roll in. We've had some weird freak tornadoes here and there, but nothing that's super consistent or a super big issue. But it's just something to be mindful of, that the weather, while you get all four seasons, there's some times where it's just not that fun. There's some days where it's very gray and the sun doesn't come out very much at all. But here's the thing for me, I don't get as frustrated with the weather as much as I do get frustrated with the people and the way that they respond to weather in Central Ohio. There's just a reality that when it rains, people forget how to drive. If there's some light precipitation, people feel like they got to get down to 20 miles an hour and put the hazard lights on. You don't have to do that. You can just put on those windshield wipers that your car came with and drive the speed limit and it'll be fine. right? And then when some snowstorms come in, I don't know if this is just a Midwest thing, but people feel like they got to go and buy all the bread and all the milk in the grocery store. And that doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like if I'm trapped in my house, I don't want to just eat bread and milk. Like we better get some stuff for tacos, because that's what I'm going to need to get through the storm. I don't need bread and milk. And so I don't understand sometimes the way people respond to weather in Central Ohio. That's probably the bigger con for me. Not necessarily that the weather can stink sometimes and it's gray, and sometimes it's really cold, sometimes it's really hot. Sometimes people just don't know how to respond to weather, and it's okay. Like things are gonna be fine, you know? So if you're here, if you just moved to Central Ohio and you hear a storm's coming, man, I hope you have some bread and milk, because if you go to the store and try to get some, there ain't gonna be none. But just get some stuff for tacos and you'll be happier anyways, all right? But that's a con for sure, is the way people respond to weather. Maybe not necessarily the weather, but the way people respond to it is a con. All right, here is con number 4. If you're thinking about living in Westerville, Ohio, and the truth is just there's limited nightlife opportunities, right? So if you're a person with a family and you go to bed at 9 o'clock, that's not gonna bother you because you're gonna be in bed. But if you're younger, if you're a young couple and you want some fun to go do, there's not a ton of that in Westerville. There's some different bars and different things like that you can go and visit with some friends and have some fun. But most of the nightlife is going to be down towards some of the more downtown Columbus, Ohio metro areas is where you'll need to go for those kind of things. Not a lot of nightlife in Westerville. So if that's something you're looking for, that can be a con. But if you're a person that lives closer to Uptown Westerville, you like it that the fact that there isn't a ton of noise late at night that you have to deal with and worry about. But if you are a person, looking for that nightlife, not a lot of opportunities for you, unfortunately. But if you're a person that likes to get in bed about 9 o'clock and flip on Dateline on a Friday night, it's the place for you. You're gonna do just fine. All right, and here is number 5. The number 5 con for living in Westerville, Ohio is property taxes. Property taxes are a little bit higher than some of the other suburbs in Columbus, Ohio, and the Central Ohio region. They're not the highest. There's other places that are definitely higher, but they are on the higher side. Now again, property taxes being high, oftentimes that comes with better school systems, better maintenance of roads, better maintenance of parks, which again in Westerville there's all kinds of parks. There's 40 some different parks that are in Westerville, so that takes a lot to maintain those. So taxes are a little bit higher in Westerville compared to some of the other suburb areas in Columbus, Ohio. So that's just something to consider as you're thinking about the price of the home, and you're thinking about really what is it going to cost me overall, not just with my principal and my interest and insurance, but what are the taxes going to be? Westerville is a little bit higher when it comes to some of the taxes that you'll see in the Central Ohio area. So that is number 5. And I told you there were 10, but I don't have 10. Honestly, some of the other stuff that I was going to share, it's not that big of a deal. Westerville is a great place to live. And if it's a place that you're considering living, again, whether you're thinking about moving in 1 month or 1 year, let me be the one call that you make to help you. Now, here's the reality. Everybody knows a real estate agent. Everybody has somebody probably in their family. But here's the reality. Your cousin Becky that's a real estate agent, stop and consider. Think about that guy that she dated for quite a while in high school. Okay, that wasn't a good decision. Is that really the person you want to trust to make one of the biggest decisions in your life? And sometimes family and business is a hard thing and it doesn't mix really well. So I would encourage you to find a realtor that knows the area, that can help you navigate the market, help you understand what the current situation is right now, help you understand the mortgage process as well. So maybe your cousin isn't the right person to help, but again, I would love to be able to be a resource for you. Now, if you are my cousin, you better call me, all right? Like if I show up at Thanksgiving and I hear that you bought a house with your buddy Fred, I'm gonna be mad, okay? It's not gonna be cool. So if I'm your cousin, then you should call me. If your cousin's a realtor, don't call them, call me. And I want to be able to help this be a smooth move for you to Central Ohio, so please feel free to call, text, you can leave a comment in the video, and maybe if you live in Westerville, Ohio and you're watching this, what's some things maybe that I missed? Add some things in there of a pro or con. Love to get your feedback from that as well. And again, you can also get in the description an opportunity to click a link to set up a 30-minute Zoom call so that we can meet and talk, and so I can get to know you a little bit better to see if we can help you as you're thinking about making a move to living in Central Ohio. Would love to be able to help you do that. Thanks for watching. Check out the next video on Westerville, Ohio. Continue to see more about what it would look like to live not only in Central Ohio, but to live in Westerville as well.